Okay, everyone. I should have a beer for this, shouldn't I? 2 minutes. I'm going to grab a beer. There we go. That's a lot better, isn't it? A wee Great Northern to celebrate another Celtic title win. We obviously need it. Okay, everyone. Celtic are the champions of Scotland again. It's 4 in a row. It's a 4th full league title for Brendan Rodgers. And strangely enough, the 4th time that we've sealed it with a 5-0 win. And I'm quite out of breath. Very tedious stuff. Okay, Scott is with us. Scott, hello, how are you?
Good, thanks, mate. Feeling a bit rough around the edges this morning, but it's all worth it, isn't it?
You were out and about last night. Where did you watch the game?
Just at Turf Bar, which is the home of the Melbourne #1 CSC. So you'll see us there live next week, I think. Isn't that the plan?
Yeah, we're
Wee plug.
okay. Yeah, we're going to do that. It's after the derby, hopefully a positive result. But yes, we are going to be out and about after the game next weekend, so you can look forward to that. For now, though, let's discuss the victory over Dundee United and the title celebrations and all of that great stuff that goes with it. As I say, we have obviously got Scott on. Stevie's been out and about as well. He's been at Celtic Park shortly after the game, just to get the usual celebrations that go on there. We're going to hear from his friend and co-podcaster at GigPod, Reidzo, as well. So lots going on today. Just initial thoughts, Scott. Champions again, 4 in a row, etc., etc.
Well, like the players, I think it never gets old. I think whether you played sport yourself or whether you live for the team, like these days are everything. That's what you fork out your hard earned for. It's why you travel on the road. It's why you pay your subs. Is to see your team play like that. I thought it was a really, really good performance. Like it's a season that's had a bit of everything as well. We've had our disappointments, but we've seen our team play some amazing stuff early in the year. High scoring, free flowing. There's Europe. Like this just wraps it up nicely in a bow almost. So we've still got some work to do.
Yeah, I thought it was a great way to win the league. And as I say, under Brendan Rodgers, we tend to do it in style when we reach that game that we all wait for. And it felt like we had to wait quite a while this season, but when the day arrived, there was a buzz in the air, and the team did themselves justice yesterday. It was just the perfect way to win the league. I didn't actually think we started the game particularly well. I felt Dundee United were pressing us quite high, and we were struggling a little bit to play through that. And then I actually thought quite a big moment in the first half was the halting of play for the fans' protest against the ticket prices that were set by Dundee United, and the tangerines, etc. Enjoy the fruits of our labour, which, by the way, was a great protest because it's got people talking. But in terms of the game, I kind of felt the pause and play there maybe knocked a little bit the stuffing out of Dundee United. I felt they started the game and were it was a pretty frenetic start to the game, and we kind of struggled to control things. But I felt after that point that we had control of the game, and obviously we get the first goal, and then we get the second, the third, and the fourth, and the fifth quite quickly after. And it's been a bit of a theme over the past 3 games, is that maybe we haven't started the game on fire. Well, I guess against Kilmarnock we did, but certainly in the last 2. But when we do get that first goal, the other ones come really quickly afterwards. Like I think Kilmarnock, we scored 4 goals in 15 minutes. Last week against St Johnstone, it was 4 in 12 minutes. And yesterday we got 5 in around about 20 minutes of like on-pitch time. So the team, when they get 1 goal or 2 goals, are going for more. And yeah, some of the football, once we really get started yesterday, was brilliant.
Yeah, United like to get out of the blocks like that, so I wasn't surprised to see it. It was more the fact that we didn't seem to have an answer to it until that stoppage. So we were just hoiking it out of defence. Sinisalo looked comfortable. The back 4 seemed relatively comfortable, but we couldn't get the ball to a player and then hold the ball up and then control it. It was just a hoik out of defence every time. But yeah, it was kind of like having a timeout, wasn't it, with the fan protest? I don't know if you want to speak to it more to that because there is a game, but my
Yeah, go
bad
for it.
math, my bad math worked that out to 105 Australian dollars. That fans were expected to fork out for that game. I can't think of too many regular season games in any sport here, because that's what I've got to go with, where you would be asking fans to fork out $105. There's maybe a couple of games now with sort of corporate interests taking over some games, but $105 for me, like, that's a no. So credit to the fans who did fork out. I think, as usual, Celtic fans are carrying the standard on, you know, fan causes, and this is one that eventually will affect all fans. It may affect us now, but if you start getting Scottish teams regularly and doing not bad in Europe, and then the expectations go up, the price of players go up, and all that sort of thing, all fans are going to be affected by this at some point. So I'm always a bit nervous with stuff getting thrown on fields. But I thought this was a good one, because I don't know how else you get the attention. If you just have a banner, Sky just won't show it, right?
Yeah.
So, and Dyson got his vitamin C hit. That worked. So.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the key to a good protest is always, people talking about it, and people were talking about it, and they put a statement out as well, the North Curve / Green Brigade, after the game, and for the second half when the balls were thrown on, and I can't quite remember what the message was to do with that.
Stop pricing fans out of football.
Okay. Right.
That was the banner for that one.
Was there a link to the balls? Because obviously the first half was the fruits of our labour. But anyway, they asked Dundee United to donate the 40 balls to a local kids charity. So I think pretty spot on from the Green Brigade, whoever else is getting involved. They also put a kind of summing up of all the costs I think Celtic fans have had to pay for various games this season tickets, and then all the other matches on top of that, and it comes to £1,867, which is about not far off $4,000 in your money, but it's ridiculously cost. So I think a really good move, all in. Got people's attention, and I agree with you. I think it's unacceptable that Dundee United, I can't remember exactly how much, I think they put it up like £8 or £10 just for this match. Just simply as a result of it being such a big game for Celtic, and knowing that Celtic fans would want to be there. So I thought that was great. But once Celtic got playing, it was great stuff. Nicolas Kuhn, I thought, looked the best he's looked for a while. There's a moment in the first half where he chased someone down and won the ball back, and I thought, okay, we've not seen that in a wee while. His goal, can't remember which one it was, but the one that he slotted from Dyson's cross, and he kind of put it into the roof of the net, I thought was a brilliant finish.
Yeah, that was the second goal, I think, because Arne Engels got that beautiful turn and pass to Maeda out on the wing there. Like, that's probably one of my aesthetically pleasing goals of the year right there. That was a beauty. Three passes into the net, like, simple, right? But it was a great finish. I mean, all of it was great. That gather, I really liked Engels' game today. I like that he put something out early when he put the Dundee United player into the fence. I quite like seeing that physicality from him, because he is a big boy, and he'll learn how to use that and use it to his advantage, like he did in that instance. But Kuhn was great. He was all over the place. He was getting good passes, getting into good positions. There's probably one or two where the pass didn't quite get to him, or it was just a little bit too early, but he was excellent. I mean, it's hard to find anyone to really be critical of with a performance like that. I thought everyone was really solid, and we played a nice, open, free-flowing game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was an own goal first, then a couple of goals from Nicolas Kuhn, Adam Ida. I thought Ida had a really good game as well. I think he even spoke after the game about obviously not starting the match and coming in for Jota, and side point. Looks like Jota might be missing for a little period. I don't know, but he certainly didn't look great when he was coming on. I know they put these boots and give him crutches and all that as a kind of protection thing, but he certainly didn't look like he'd be fit for the derby next week. But who knows? But anyway, Adam Ida came on for him midway through the first half, and I think he said after the game I was quite rusty, and his first few touches were a bit rusty. But I think once he once he really came onto a game, he did in that second half, and a couple of goals. His header was really good as well. Could have had another one as well. But yeah, when there's a trophy on the line, Adam Ida seems to turn into like prime Ronaldo or something like that, because he's immense for these kind of title winning games, cup winning games at Celtic Park. So that was pleasing. I think he potentially starts at Ibrox next week. Great to see Nicolas Kuhn back. Dyson didn't score, which I guess is a bit of a shock, but he, as you say, still offered a lot to the game. You liked Engel's performance. Who else was on your mind?
Well, I was thinking about Adamita as well. He could have had four. He missed that header soon after he
Yeah,
came on, and then there's I think it would have been his fourth goal had he got it, where it deflected off a Dundee play and he couldn't quite get enough on it to
yeah,
direct it on goal. But what I really found pleasing today as well, apart from the goals, is his ability to use his frame to hold the ball up and bring other players in. And I think that's a dimension of our attack we haven't really had to try and utilise, and we haven't seen enough of Adamita doing that sort of thing to bring other players in. I mean, when Kyogo was up front, it was all about what lines he ran and getting the ball in front or behind the defence in front of him to finish it off. So that hold up wasn't there. I'm going to predict that James Forrest's goal for this year will come off Ida teeing it up. I
okay.
couldn't help but see that. Like, you could see it really unfolding, and I think especially against like Rangers coming up, teams that play a bit more of an open style and aren't going to just sit back and clog up the space. I think we might see a bit more of that going forward. So we'll wait and see if my prediction comes true.
I think you're right. It's actually a point I was thinking at the game, but I forgot to mention. So I'm glad you brought it up. There was a number of times, kind of going late into the game, where he had the defender pinned, and the ball was just played into him, and he was really strong. And okay, he knocked a couple away, and it didn't quite come off or whatever. But yeah, it's not something we've really seen too much from Adam Ida for whatever reason. But yesterday it was clearly happening. So hopefully he feels good after his goals, and that's all well and good. So yeah, it was pretty straightforward stuff in the end. There was no real debate at all in your mind during the match of whether Celtic were going to win the league. We knew it was coming, like we often do, but still an amazing feeling when that full time whistle goes. And yeah, just such a straightforward league title. I think I can't remember a more straightforward one, but that's a credit to the team. I think the consistency they showed in the first half of the season is what has won us this league title. And I know the second half of the season at times we've thrown a couple of games away from home especially, but yeah, the team the first half of the season got the job done pretty much, and there was like no doubt really about this title from like week 3 or 4 of the season. It's been ridiculous domination.
Yeah, it's consistency is the theme that they all talked about post game. Whenever they talked to someone, it was about the consistency and the standards that they set. And really, yeah, this season was over by Christmas. If we're really realistic about it, like, no one was going to catch us. Aberdeen were always going to fall away. They're not good enough, even though we've made them look pretty good at times, and that's really a reflection on us than whether they're any good. We can see that they're not. So dropping more points again overnight, I see. So I hope we can take that standard that we set into next week, because I think as fans we want to see that. It'll be a bit of a mark on the season, but you always need goals to chalk off going into your next season as well. Brendan Rodgers talked about how he wanted more goals, more wins this season than last, and more points, and he's got all three, I think. Um, so those internal goals and that, they'll set them. That they're always there. We try different things. We play players out of position. We got the depth to do that. Sometimes it's not going to turn out that way. So yeah, just a dominant Celtic team that I've loved watching when we're on. We've been just awesome to watch.
Hmm. You mentioned goals, and literally talking about goals. We crossed the 100 goal barrier for the league at Tannadice, so we have 102 now, and we still get 4 games left. I'll need to double check this, but I did read online somewhere that we have 147 goals in all competitions this season, which is quite ridiculous when you think about how many that is. Clearly we're going to hit, easily going to hit 150 with still 5 games in all comps to go. So that's great. So much to discuss after the game. Let's hear from Reidzo though, because Reidzo and Stevie have been at Celtic Park after the game. So we'll hear from Reidzo and see what else they've been up to.
Well, Hamish, here at Celtic Park. Well, Brendan is talking in the background, would you believe? Well, Stevie's holding the camera. Well, we were at Celtic Park after our sensational 5-0 win today at Tannadice, which clinched the title. We won the league. Playing football the Glasgow Celtic ways, the song goes, a brilliant 5-0 performance. I mean, the star men were Nicolas Kuhn back to his best with 2 goals. Adam Ida came on and done very well, scored 2 goals, held the ball well brilliantly. But no, just a salute to the team that was in the last 3 games. After the game we lost to St Johnstone, scored 15 goals in those 3 games. The team have played football the way we wanted to be played. And overall this season we've really played football the way we wanted to play. We've scored 102 goals in 34 games, which is an average of 3 goals a game, which is really good. I mean, I always talk about Angie's team on GigPod, but I mean, Angie's team would be proud to have that sort of high standard. But looking at this season overall, first party, I'd say Nicolas Kuhn was the star man. And I think he scored 19 or 20 goals this season. I'm not actually sure. They said both on the TV. But he carried us in the first half of the season. And then the second half it's been Dyson. He didn't score today, but he had 2 assists. He was the star man as usual, just there. He says, I'm glad to be a champion again. Didn't say much. But a word as well for James Forrest, who's got more trophies has got more medals than any other player in Celtic history. As a Celtic fan, I'll just say in ways as well. James Forrest has got more medals than any other Celtic player in history, which is pretty incredible. Still no scored yet this season. I'm hoping that we'll get a penalty. Maybe next week, even at Ibrox. That'll probably no harm. But if you can get that goal, you can probably hear Disco Land in the background as the fans celebrate this win. But no, James Forrest, more Celtic medals than MD. Carl McGregor's only 1 medal behind him, which shows just how amazingly dominant we've been. It's 13 trophies in the last 13 titles in the last 14 seasons. Brendan said the day after the game that it's not our fault, we're 18 points ahead. And really, this Celtic team did deserve a lot of credit. There's a fabulous golf in the background. With a pretty ropey at times, but when it counts, we've turned up. We've got the title won, we're looking to win a treble. We turned up in Europe this season as well. And then hopefully we're going to win a treble. But just well done to the players. You can never take Celtic winning for granted. People that don't have a clue will say it's boring, but it's no boring. Celtic winning titles should always be a day to remember. This has been a day to remember. 13 titles in the last 14 years was just an unbelievable achievement. And hopefully the success continues. There's no reason for it not to. Celtic have got the foundations to be better and better in the years to come. We just need to sign better players in the summer. Brendan says he's committed to next season. I've got messages with Brendan, but hopefully he stays longer because that'll get Celtic looking good to the future. But no, well done to Celtic. 5-0 win today. Title winners again. And let's go on from strength to strength.
Now surpasses Billy McNeil with 24 major honours. An unbelievable achievement, Callum, but let me give you the chance to talk about the team behind you as well, and how proud you are and how pleased you are for all the boys.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I'm standing here today with 24 trophies, but there's no way in the world that I'd be able to do that without the guys behind me, Firstly, the manager, the players, senior players, young guys coming into the club, the backroom staff. Year after year, they dedicate their life to make sure that Celtic's successful. And when we get to share moments like this with you guys, there's nothing better. But like I said, there's no way that I can do it on my own. So full credit goes to everyone that's standing behind me.
There we go. Big thanks for chatting to us, Reidzo. Appreciate it, and we'll catch up with him and Stevie pretty soon. In terms of other things, Scott, James Forrest, the most decorated player in Celtic's entire history now, which is something I do just need to repeat. James Forrest is the most decorated player in the entire history of Celtic in terms of major trophy wins. So he's got 26 now. He's overtaken Bobby Lennox. More on that in a wee second. Callum McGregor is third with 24. So assuming McGregor plays a little bit longer than James Forrest, and obviously has got a few years on Forrest, McGregor probably overtakes Forrest at some stage, but for now, James can take that. Billy McNeil, 23, Scott Brown, 22. So it really tells you about the dominance we're having at the moment when you consider 3 of those 5 I read out are from the last 10 years. This is really nice. James Forrest revealed that he'll visit Bobby Lennox this week. He says, "I think he's not keeping so great just now, but I will plan to go and see him this week. I've obviously met him a few times at games and stuff. You might say I've gone beyond him, but at this club, it is not about one player or 2 players. It is so many players. It is the fans, the staff you don't see. I have met his family and they are also humble, and I think that stands you in good stead for players coming through." Just amazing, James Forrest. I know he's had his detractors over the years as a footballer. I think that's nonsense, to be honest. I don't think you can argue with what James Forrest has offered Celtic for such a long period. But even if you do, James Forrest as a guy, I put it to you that we couldn't have a better person topping that list. A person more befitting of Celtic and you know what we stand for and the way to come across as a good person. I just think he's amazing, and I'm honestly delighted for him now that he's won more trophies than any other player. I think he deserves that, but I think it's just a mark of class from him that he's going to meet another guy, Bobby Lennox, who maybe isn't doing so well at the moment, but is another guy who's just, you know, lived an amazing Celtic life with such class throughout the year. So great stuff all round.
Yeah, and a humble guy to boot, right? Not bad for an academy player. So there's probably some lessons for the young boys to learn off both him and Callum, but still outrageously underappreciated, I think, because he is a humble guy. But he always gets the job done, and average players don't win that much because average players don't get that longevity. So I think he's probably a player that once he's gone, we'll really notice his presence is gone. It's clear the team love him. It's clear he's someone that players can work with, managers and staff can work with, and he loves that relationship with the club and the fans, and that's what you get to enjoy when you stick around and you don't chase the money down south or wherever it is you go. You know, you can stay at Celtic and win and win and win and have high standards, and it never gets old. Jamesy's one quote I really loved that he said in the post-match was when he was asked about, you know, how this feels, and he says the next one always feels better. And I thought that was such a good quote because it's always like we've heard that it's tedious. You know, do you ever get tired? And the answer is always the same. We might get tired of hearing it doesn't get tired. It really doesn't get tired. And James Forrest and Callum McGregor are a testament to that. It's brilliant by the pair of them, and a credit to both of them.
Yeah, definitely. Brendan Rodgers speaking after the game to Sky Sports. Last week he said he was 150% sure he'd be with us next season. Now he's 200%. Clearly he's going to be our manager next season. That's not even up for debate. Beyond that, and he was pushed on it a little bit, didn't give too much away, but was very keen, I think, to say nobody really... well, very few people know him as a person. I think he said even fewer understand him as a person. So basically, don't believe any of the nonsense you hear. We'll enjoy next season and we'll see beyond that. But yeah, I mean, incredible record that he's got that just keeps up, and we're going to be hard to beat next season. But the thing is, like, you know that hunger is going to be there again. There is no question of this Celtic team. You know, get with guys like Callum McGregor and James Forrest in there thinking, okay, the job's done now, we can maybe just coast a bit next season. They're going to be going hard at it to make it 5 in a row. And yeah, 5 in a row. We're slowly getting towards the you-know-what number, Scott, that we probably will hang fire a little bit on. but yeah, it's just amazing times.
Isn't the magic number 55 and then you can stop? I don't know. I would have thought that was more of a launching pad sort of number. 55 on the 60 on the 70. Maybe that's just for us. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Um, we've heard all season that they take it one game at a time. What I quite liked out of the post game chats was that now they've ticked this off, but the next games everything's with a purpose. It's 1 week at a time, but with a purpose. They really want to put an exclamation mark on the season by the sounds of it. So that they'll enjoy a couple of days off, I'm sure, and then we can get stuck into that mob next week.
Yes, indeed. Was there anything else you saw? I don't know how much you would have seen post match, given you were in the boozer. But was there anything else you saw that caught your fancy? And Kasper Schmeichel was speaking as well, wasn't he?
He's spending too much time on Sky. I think he's getting ready, auditioning for his next job, right? Like his dad. He missed all the photos. I've done a lot of catching up this morning though. The usual sort of stuff. Brendan talked about the rotations and stuff in that first 10 minutes and what he really liked to see from there defensively, because there is two sides to a game. Defense is clearly something that is a point of emphasis at the moment. I do like that we got a clean sheet for the first time in ages too, away from home. So that first 10 minutes, he was really happy with what he saw from the team. Even though we're getting frustrated with us just hoofing the ball away, we were pretty solid. I mean, I've got to say, I do love our fans. We do have a sense of humour. I don't know if you saw much of it, but there was a lad that was sort of conducting the orchestra after the game, where the skybox was, and then the fuzz try and kill all the fun out of it. But you could see Brendan Rodgers' eyes just darting across. I don't know. It's just, this is one for the fans, I think, too. It's been a long year. A lot of football, a lot of travel, and it's just you got to love it. I mean, Celtic fans are the best, and we're known everywhere, and we sing. Even my wife sings songs around the house these days. She's got a few of her favourites, so it's just a good time to be a Celtic fan. That's my favourite, I think, this year.
Yeah.
It's simple. I'm not sure he's a huge fan of it, but he goes along with it because that's the sort of guy he is. I think he's heading off to Japan. His wife's having another baby, I think I heard. He might be heading off to Japan midweek. I may be completely wrong. I may have misheard. But he's taken Celtic, the heart, and the fans him, and I think that's the relationship that we have with our team. And we can be unhappy with the odd performance here or there, but we quickly get over it and we go on to the next one, just like the team do. So,
things are good. Just a quick update on Jota. Brendan Rodgers said after the game he just felt his knee with the medical guys. We're looking at whether his meniscus is a little bit sore. We just have to assess that. Of course, they put it in the brace to protect it, but we'll see in the next couple of days. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, I think amazing success. Absolutely love it. Enjoy ourselves this week. But I do think things are slightly different this season in that, we've got Ibrox next weekend, and I think given the way the last couple of derbies go, that have gone, that's probably the one negative from this season is that we've, apart from that first derby, we've really not shown up in these games this season. And how good would it be after having just won the league if we go to Ibrox and win next week? So I think that's the next task for the team. It's maybe a little bit harsh for people to feel that way, given that they've just done the most important thing and won the league, and suddenly we're going, right, don't enjoy yourself too much, go and win again. But that's what being a Celtic player is all about. So over to them. But yeah, amazing stuff, Scott. Even when you're at the other side of the world, it still just feels amazing to be a Celtic fan, doesn't it?
It does, because we're everywhere.
Yeah, we are. Anything else, Scott, and then we'll head off?
No, I just think just enjoy it. Well, we always do, but just enjoy it. It's going to be a big big week come Wednesday onwards, I think. There'll be a lot of comparisons, a lot of speculation about movements and new owners and Mourinho coming to town and all this sort of stuff. It'd just be nice to get the result that we deserve, to see our team play the way we know they can, and just put a little, exclamation point on the season and let them know where their rightful place is.
Yeah. Let's hope that's the case. Remember, after the derby next week, me and Scott will be together in person doing a video. That's now out there. So we'll see how that goes, Scott. It might be difficult in a loud pub, but we'll do our best and see what's happening. Hopefully it's a positive result. So we'll catch up with Scott soon. Thank you everyone for watching. As always, just enjoy yourself today, knowing that once again, we're champions. If you have any thoughts on anything at all, fire them in the comments. I'll go through the best of them tomorrow. But for now, I'm nearly finished my beer. I'm going to have a few more. Enjoy your Sunday, everyone.